Hey everybody, hope you're well, and it's James here over the Part-Time Entrepreneur, and today we're going to have a look at the ICO review for Nex. Now what these guys are trying to do is they're trying to create a platform which is decentralized, which is really the big thing at the moment, and within that there'll be a payment service creation. Now we're going to talk about that in a little further detail later, but what that basically means, they want the performance of centralized but with the security of decentralized. Now, as always, this isn't financial advice and all the rest of it. I don't need to go for the usual spiel. So let's just crack on with this ICO. So these guys see that there are three keys to winning. The first one is, being able to trade the high volumes, and obviously as cryptocurrency just gets bigger and bigger, the demands on some of these platforms is just going to get greater and greater. And we've seen this with some of the collapses of things like Binance. They get to a certain point and then they have to shut the doors and they have to go behind the scenes, they work a few things and then they open up the doors again, and then it just all goes a bit crazy. The other thing that they'll have is payment services, and what this will allow them to do is to have third-party contracts on Neo and be able to send and receive global assets. And the other thing is the complex trades. So obviously on some of the exchanges, things like margin trading, all these types of things, you'll be able to do this on this platform. And not every platform out there actually offers that service. So what are the problems these guys are trying to solve? Well, the first thing is that with the centralized exchanges, obviously we started with those guys. However, they're very prone to being hacked. And we've seen this with Bitfinex in 2016. We also, and quite recently, CoinCheck over in South Korea. And then obviously no one can forget the Mt. Gox. Let's have a little look.
A setback for the legitimacy of Bitcoin. Tokyo-based Mt. Gox, a major Bitcoin exchange, has gone bust, secretly racking up $350 million in losses related to the virtual currency. The company's website is down, its CEO has resigned, and investors are picketing outside its offices. Colin Burgess came from London hoping to recoup $320,000 he had tied up in Bitcoins.
I'm both annoyed and worried. It seems that I've lost all of my money.
The other thing is that smart contracts are slow, and obviously these need to be validated on the system by the nodes, and this sort of slows the system down. If we have some look at some of the key facts, Neo are sort of boasting that they can do 10,000 transactions per second. Ethereum is roughly around 15 transactions per second. However, they've got Raiden and Plasma that will obviously fix a lot of these problems going forward. So they're sort of identifying a problem that is now. However, in the future, that problem, if Ethereum can scale, might not be a bigger problem as these guys are sort of making out. There's also some key things like on-chain, automatic trades, state channels, which really, again, slow the whole process down a little bit. And these guys are looking at some alternatives to be able to fix that problem. Also, the orders are not automatic, and therefore sometimes that can create arbitrage across different platforms. Now, if you don't know what arbitrage is, here's just a little example. So I took this screenshot only seconds apart. This is just Substratum as a little example. On one exchange it's trading at 69 cents, and another exchange it's trading at 75 cents. And this comes back to all the automatic trade bits and pieces of one's caught up, one's further ahead. And again, this creates some, I think there was a site being created called arbitrage.com to literally take advantage of this. Obviously, if the sites get a lot smarter, then this will become less of a problem. So these guys have come up with a solution. So the first one is they're going to go off-chain matching. So that's going to make things a lot faster. The best way I can explain this potentially is that you've got an office and you've got loads of people that work for you, and even more people want to work for you, and the office gets really clustered, busy, and you can hardly move. And actually you make them third party so they can work from home and all the rest of it. Now the office is free, you can move around, it's faster, in the simplest way. That's the best way I can describe it. So just make things a lot faster. And trying to explain it I know there's a lot of new people to the channel. The other thing is payment service via tokens. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit more detail later. You'll have third-party smart contracts. Again, if you look at sort of Ethereum contracts at the moment, obviously they need to go on the system and then they get verified by the node, and that takes a little bit of time. But with these third-party ones, they can speed it up a little bit further, and also they can handle all of the complex trades, so from margin trading to limit trades on all of those different pieces. Really, that is sort of standard now with the more bigger sites that I'm seeing coming out. So it's one of those things that they just have to do. And the other thing is actually they're going to reward people for any unfair behavior. So with the payment service via tokens, this is a clever idea. It's not unique, unfortunately. I have seen this already over at Coinvest, where they're using a similar sort of model, where they're taking, you know, your whatever, euros, dollars, you convert it into crypto, and then you buy the tokens. So you can take your assets and you can deposit them, and that will convert it into tokens. And then the tokens are quite fluid then on the platform, so it makes things a lot easier and a lot faster as well. And I'm starting to see this concept being used. So the next thing is obviously the fees, and this is their current structure. So actually they monitor you over a 30-day period. If you're the taker, so if you're going below sort of market price with a limit order or such, you're going to pay a fee. The market makers, they pay no fee. And obviously they use the automated market maker to obviously start reducing the spread as well, because obviously the spread is what kills people most times. So especially on normal markets, you really want to have a look at the spread. When the spread's really wide, you don't really want to be buying and selling. It's when it's really tight that you want to do that, because then obviously the percentage margin of movement is a lot less. So where do some of those fees go? Well, actually they're going to share some of those fees, and the way they can do it is obviously because they're going to be doing coin staking. Now there's a little example here. If you own 1,000 NEX, you can go through the sums yourself, that you would get $1,500 back. Now I think it's based on value, it's not based on time, so I don't really know how realistic this would be over what time period, but I think in most of these examples they use the more speculative end of the spectrum, shall we say. However, you know, when you get that coin staking back, you can get NEO, Gas, NEX or RPX as well. So I had a look at their marketing, and to be honest, it was shocking. It's probably one of the worst I've seen. You know, I always checked different things, looked at the, you know, bounty program, not doing a bounty program, so they're not really investing in their marketing as much. I looked on Twitter, you know, they seem to have quite a lot of followers, not many likes, to be honest, and not many tweets either, so they're not very active. They don't have a Telegram group either, and that seems to be pretty much the standard now. So again, from a marketing point of view, it's been a little bit pants. So if we have a look at the team, a lot of these guys are from City of Zion, so you know there's some very experienced developers in this group. That probably might explain why their marketing's a little bit pants. But you know, there's some really good guys in here. You know, you've got Ethan Fast. I know that he did a bit of a chat with CryptoLark quite recently. Obviously, he was the guy who designed the Neon wallet. You've got the creator of NeoScan. You've got the creator of NeoPython. So there's a lot of really talented developers within this group. And as we sort of move down as well, you've got Evenji, I think that's his name. Forgive me if I've pronounced that wrong. You know, former core developer at Wix. Now I know Wix because I've done other little businesses before and used those online websites and stuff. And again, a core contributor to the Neon wallet. So you know, these guys know their stuff. And obviously, you've got the Neo bad boys on board. You've got Da Hongfei and Eric Zhang. So you know, some incredible big backers in terms of advisors. So I don't think these guys are going to be too short for cash, or probably even investors actually. And maybe why they're not so bothered about the marketing piece, because with those boys on board, you know, they probably connected to a lot of very, very good people. But overall, there is a huge level of experience in terms of the development side and sort of bringing this project to fruition. But Carla, sort your shit out. Your marketing's pants. So in terms of their roadmap, you know, they've got the token sale that's happening at the moment. There's a slight lack of details. They've got the payment service, which will launch in Q2. There's obviously a lot of things happening in Q2 in terms of exchanges. You've got the trading MVP release as well. Again, that's going to go on mainnet, so that's going to be a big thing as well. The cross-chain Q4, and then decentralized banking is obviously within the future. Now, again, reminds me a lot of Coinvest, because obviously they've got the section with the credit card, and you can cash your coins, your tokens onto your card and then spend it as you would sort of Bitcoin on a 10x card, for instance. It feels like they're following a similar model that's already out there. They also have their white paper, which is a bit of a short but very interesting read. As always, I advise everybody, if you're looking at a project, listen to, at least 3 or 4 different videos, get different views, because some people will really like it, some people are paid, some people aren't paid, whatever. But I would always get like a lot of different views, and then have a look at the white paper. Does it read quite easily? This does, thankfully. But for me, there's just, I'd prefer more information on the actual ICO itself. There doesn't seem to be much. Obviously, I get what they're trying to do, how they're trying to do it, and what they're going to do with it as such. But as always, please check out the white paper. So who do I see as key competitors? Well, first one, you've got Loopring. So obviously they've got the liquidity sharing utilizing consortium blockchain, which is just a mouthful really. Again, they're just trying to speed stuff up with like the cancelling trades and all this type of thing. So again, rumors that they're moving to quantum and onto the Neo blockchain as well. I do see Robinhood as quite a big competitor to these guys, because I know it's not on the Neo blockchain and all the rest of it, but they're doing 1.1 million orders processed per second. So their matching engine is way, way faster. They're also going to be decentralized by the end of Q2 2018, and they charge no fees. So in that sense, I do a lot of trading on there now because there's no fees. It's a lot better in that sense. There's some improvements that need to be done, don't get me wrong, but I just see these guys as very much a big competitor. I think there's quite a bit of competition out there, and I think that'll be their biggest challenge. Now, moving on to the token sale, there's not a lot I can tell you actually. First of all, there's total 50 million in total supply, and there'll be 25 million tokens available for the token sale. There's no dates, there's no how much. There's no Telegram for you to ask questions, and it seems a little poorly run, if I'm honest. So what do I see as the cons? Well, first of all, I think there's a lot of competition. You've got Loopring and you've got OX, and those guys are highly connected. Then you've got the other forces of the Robinhood with 0 fees, and then you've got a bit of a wait for the live product as well. So where everyone else is mastering their craft, these guys are pulling it together. Their marketing has been pretty shocking. It's probably one of the worst I've seen in terms of projects out there, unfortunately. I'm hoping that will get a lot better. A whole lack of information on the ICO, and this sort of tells me that these guys are a little bit disorganized when it comes to these types of things. Not seeing every other project. You will see what the ICO is like how many ETH per tokens you're going to get, all the rest of it. We're not seeing that. Now, I don't know if there's some clever plan behind the scenes or something else, but at the moment it just looks like a little bit of a lack of organization. And the other thing is, because of this, there might be a crazy panic at ICO. Obviously, they've got a lot of followers. We looked at Twitter. So there's obviously some interest in this project. And I just think if they do it very late last minute, it's just going to cause a bit of a panic and a frenzy. Loads of people are going to try and get in. Loads of people are going to just get disappointed and just walk away from the project. I know with the Monetha ICO, I had quite a bit of money waiting on the sidelines for that project, and the whole ICO was such a pig's ear in the end. I just walked away from the project completely and never looked back. However, there are some good pros with this project. The thing is, obviously, they're going to harvest the benefits of being on the Neo blockchain. They've got a very strong team of developers, and obviously a very strong advisory team, and obviously those guys will have plenty of connections. You've also got the low market cap, and that seems to attract the crazies, unfortunately. Loads of people will pile in on this just purely for the fact it's got low market cap. They probably won't know what the project even is. They'll just see that number of 50 million, 25 million available, and they'll just go crazy. And again, if you've been investing a while, you'll realize that low market cap means high start price. It doesn't necessarily mean your multiplier is going to be any bigger than something with a larger market cap. And again, there's plenty of projects out there that I've invested in that have proved exactly like such, as Utrust and those types of things. It's good concept, so I like it, and it does have legs. There's a couple of good USPs in there, so I do think that that this project could do quite well. You've also got faster and safer trading. Now, this is going to attract loads of new people into crypto, because the thing is, a lot of people are risk averse. They don't want to even take a chance in cryptocurrency and invest if they think that their money will get stolen and all this type of thing. And I don't blame them, because until you really get into crypto, it sort of takes a while to sort of trust the system and all the rest of it. So we will see people, I think, gravitate to these type of platforms. And obviously you've got the coin staking and also the kickback as well. So you can stake your coins, and what that'll do is that will take a lot of coins out of supply. and then that'll obviously, the demand will grow and therefore the price will grow as well. So I've given this project 7.8 out of 10, and really where it's lost marks is, one, through its marketing. Now the reason for that is that you need to build communities around exchanges, and once you've got that, things like Binance, there was a great community around that. Now it's number one. So it really does show that you do need strong marketing. And obviously, while these guys are pulling this all together and all the rest of it, you need to build that community so when it goes live, that there is people on it, so there's liquidity, blah, blah, blah. We all know the rest. The other reason is that there is a lot of competition within this marketplace. Decentralized exchanges are going to be the fashionable thing this year, and this is one of many. Obviously I've talked about things like, you know, Coinvest is doing something a little similar with the token base, but they've already going to have like the banking element, so you can take your tokens, put it on a card and go to spend it, so you can go spend your profit straight away. So there are key competitors out there that have got a little bit of a leading edge on these guys, even when their prototype product is out. So for me, I will be investing in this project. I do like it. I do think that it will attract new people into cryptocurrency. And just the fact that it's on the Neo blockchain is something a little bit interesting, a little bit different. And there's enough USPs for me to go in on this. As always, guys, thank you for tuning into the channel. And as always, please like, share and comment, and do subscribe to the channel so you get these videos as soon as they come out. If you're after my 2018 ICO strategy, then please head over to Crypto Rookies. There's loads of great stuff on there, and loads of new training videos that I've put on there too. If you want to join my free Facebook group, then head over to PTE Cryptocurrency Community, and I'll see you guys on the next video.